How are we doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today's video is on how you guys can level up your training. I'm going to go through a few different ways that you can do it and why you want to do it. So the why you want to do it is pretty simple. They've added new functions to the game in BDO. So let's say you set up an auto path as you normally would. You're in Velia, you want to get to Sangren Bazaar, and you're going to go make yourself a coffee. So you're going to do some auto pathing, right? They've added a function in the game, and there's a few requirements to be able to use this function. Requirement number one, you have a horse that has sprint. Learn the ability sprint, and the ability is maxed out. Along with the horse has a saddle on it, and finally that you have unlocked. You're the character riding the horse is training level Artisan 1 or higher. I'm not quite there yet, but I will get there by the end of today after recording this video. So that's the requirements, and basically all it will do is it will automatically use sprint when you're auto pathing. This will drastically reduce the amount of time it will take for me to get from point A to point B. So I think it's worth whatever main character you use in the game. If you spend a decent amount of time on this game and you're going to be playing it for the foreseeable future, then 100% level up the skill, because it's going to save you a lot of time in the long run. So it's 100% worth. I'm going to go through, like I said, a few different ways of leveling up this skill, and let's start with the most easiest way. It's going to take a while in terms of time, but it's super simple and it requires very little effort. But the first thing is you want to pick a main town or city closest to the location that you spend the most time in on your main character. Okay, so if your main character, your end game player, and you are grinding history and Archmans, that's where you spend the majority of your time. You're going to come to either Valencia or Altanova, up to you which one you want to go to. If you are an endgame player that's in Hashara Ruins, then Heidel or Altanova, doesn't really matter which one. If you are currently leveling up and you are in spending most of your time in Miramox, then you want to set up in Grana. If you're Persian peace grinding in either Shurikens, Bloodwolves, or Tashira, you want to set up in Duvenkroon. If you're Persian peace grinding in Forest Runneros, Mansion Forest, or Navan Steppe, you want to set up in Grana. If you don't quite have the gear to get into a trees group and you are a lower geared player, but you want to do this as well, you want to get this function unlocked, you should be grinding in Schultzgard. So if you're grinding in Schultzgard, either Altanova or Heidel is where you want to set up in. And if you're a life skiller, I don't know, bro, like wherever you life skill, if you're doing Pine Saps, then Calphion, or wherever you're doing Sheep Mountain, then Heidel, wherever your life skill is, wherever you're spending the most amount of time on your main character, then that's where you're going to set up. You can technically do this for both your main character and your main life skiller. I'm going to skip my main life skiller, to be honest, because I don't spend that much time life skilling, so I'll just be doing it on my main character. And this is like very simple, right? So once you've picked the area closest to where you spend most of your time, all you got to do, right, is come to the stable, go to the horse market, and you are looking for the lowest tiered, lowest level horse you can find. If you find a couple of T1 level 1s, buy all of them until you can't buy anymore because your stable is full. Okay? So there's a few reasons why you want to do this. I'll go over it. I'll go over it as quickly as I can. Well, let me go over the rules first. Okay, so 1, I would not buy a horse that's level 10 or higher. 2, I would not buy a horse that's tier 6 or higher. Okay, now there's a few reasons. 1 is when they become tier 6, T7, T8, especially T7s and T8, even if it's a level 1, like 46 mil, it's way too much goddamn silver. Way too much silver. Like, it's not worth your goddamn time to do. Like, it's just you're throwing money away at this point. You can make a little bit, you will make a little bit of money with what I'm showing you, but you're not going to make any money if spending 46 million buying the horse in the first place, right? So you're looking to keep your costs low. So, you know, if you guys aren't earning that much, silver isn't a big issue for me, but if you guys aren't earning a lot of silver because of the areas you're grinding, then maybe put another limit. Like, you don't want the horse to be 2 million or higher, or 5 million or higher silver. So that can be another thing that you can add into your requirements. But more often than not, if it's level 5 or lower and it's T6 or lower, it's only going to be over 2 mil if it's got like drift or instant excel, stuff like that, right? So likelihood is you're getting your horse for less than 2 mil, if not less than 1 mil, which should be, even if you're grinding shitty areas, next to no silver, all right? So you're going to buy the horse, and so quickly explain why it's low tier, low level. The other reason behind it is the amount of training EXP you get from leveling a horse from level 0 to, or from 1 to 2 compared to 28 to 29 is negligible, if not there is no difference. I haven't literally recorded the tick to be able to confirm whether it's the same or not, but I have paid attention to my training level, and the difference between low level horses leveling up and high level horses leveling up is not very noticeable, okay? Compared to the amount of time it takes to level up that horse, because the EXP requirement for leveling up your horse exponentially increases as your horse's level increases. So what that means is getting from level 1 to level 2 will take you like 5-10 minutes. Getting from level 29 to 30 is going to take you a couple hours, okay? And the tier of the horse also impacts on that. So a T8 horse getting from level 1 to 2 is going to take longer than a T1 horse getting from level 1 to 2. So that's why you want to keep your tier low and your level low. So now that you got that information, just remember, buy a low level, low tier horse, and then just before you go AFK, grab some carrots from the central market. So come here to your marketplace, type in CARR, scroll down, grab like 50 special carrots. It's going to be chips. Let's see how much that will cost you. 300k, literally nothing. Okay, I've got like 190 or something, 179 on me at the minute. So right before you go AFK, so you're going to work, you're going to go, you got to do some studying, cook some food, watch some Cobra Kai. Fucking awesome show. I'd really highly recommend you guys watch Cobra Kai. But anyway, you want to set up an auto path with a green auto icon. The way you do this is for Xbox players, press LTX. For PlayStation players, you're going to press L2 square. Okay? And it's green. If it's green, what it basically means is when you get to your auto path location, it will turn around and head back to where you started and rinse and repeat. And this, as you do this, your horse is moving, so as it's moving, it's going to level up. When your horse levels up, it gives you training experience. But there's a few things you want to tick off. Number one, over here, I kind of clipped on that a little bit, okay? So before you leave your console, make sure you don't clip on anything. That is probably going to be okay, right? But let yourself do a few auto paths and see whether you're going to clip. So I'll give you an example. Let's say the auto path comes here and it does this. Like this, maybe it gets away with it the first 3 times, but maybe the 25th time on the auto path, it gets stuck. So make sure you don't clip on anything before you go AFK. Make sure you got the carrots in your inventory, and make sure that that auto consume feed when stamina is low is ticked. If for some reason it's not ticked, come to your ring menu. Come over to the menu section of the ring menu, scroll down to mount information, pop that on your ring menu, and then if you come here and it's that mount inventory auto consume feed when stamina low is not ticked. If you're on Xbox, press X. If you're on PlayStation, press square, and that will do that for you. So now your horse is going to be leveling up as your AFK, which is going to in turn level up your training. So once your horse hits level 15, you're going to trade horses. You're going to get rid of this horse and you're going to start on a new horse. Remember what I said? The lower level, the faster it levels up, so the more EXP you're getting, the quicker you're going to get to Artisan. And there's another reason we're going to wait to level 15, which I'm going to get into in just a second. But before I get into that other reason, there's a few extra steps you can take here to speed up your getting to Artisan 1 training. So step number 1 is from the very beginning, you can grab yourself a silver embroidered trainer's clothes. So come to the central market, come to armors, come to functional clothes, come to trainer clothes. So your budget depends on you. So for me, 136 mil is in my budget. I don't mind spending that. Half a bill plus, that's a bit too expensive. So I get a +3. If 136 mil is a bit too high for your budget, I'd recommend coming here and getting a +2. If it's not available, put a pre-order up and grab yourself a base just for now, because the base will give your mount 5% more EXP. You can make it yourself, so if you want to make it yourself, just buy a bunch of bases and smash them together. If you've already got a clothes shop open, you can literally craft them yourself, which will cost you very little, and which will cost you very, very little silver, and you can freely just smash them until it goes. It would just the price of the stacks that you'll be paying. But yeah, so it just depends on your budget and how you want to do it. I'd recommend at least getting a +2, and if 136 is in your budget, get yourself a +3. So basically, every time your mount's EXP ticks up, it was going to tick. If you got a +3 clothes on, it's going to tick up 20% more than it would without that. So basically, the amount of time it takes to level up is going to be reduced by 20%. So that's going to make your time more efficient. Number 2 is once you hit skilled 10 training, you're going to swap out your +3 clothes for a trainer's clothes. So what you're going to do, when you hit professional 1, the game's going to give you one of these trainer clothes. This is the same clothes, but as you can see, they're in different slots. So once you hit professional 10 training, what's going to happen is the game, if you come to your rewards, no, not professional 1 training. It might be skill 10, I can't remember if it's skill 10 or professional 1. I think it's professional 1. If you come to your rewards, it's literally going to hand you one of these clothes for free. And then what you're going to do is come to this luxury vendor and buy yourselves a just buy yourself one of these trainer clothes. So now you've got 2. You will have 2 of these in your inventory, okay? And basically what you can then do is sell your +3 because you don't need it anymore. So I don't need these anymore, so I'm gonna sell it. I'll get 146 mil minus some tax when that sells. But yeah, so you're gonna grab 2. So you're gonna get 1 for free. You're gonna buy 1 for 1.5 mil. There's one more thing you're gonna need to do, which I'll do for purposes of example. Show you guys how it's done. If you come here and buy yourself a tailoring equipment coupon, so it's a bit expensive, but buy one of these. And what you will then do is pull out your equipment tailoring coupon, click on it in your inventory. Where did it go? Did I not pull it out? Sure, I pulled it out. Oh, it goes into Pro inventory. Apologies. Grab it in your Pro inventory and click, just put the clothes in it and press A to confirm. I'm not going to do that because I don't actually want to do this. So this will then transform your thing into this training clothes here. So then you can equip one in your Pro inventory and 1 in your main inventory. So these are really cool because it's the equivalent of a +2 training clothes, but it also gives you plus 10% training XP. So it's definitely better than a +3, in my opinion. It also gives you your capture rate plus 15% and your mount skill EXP plus 15%. So if you got 2 of these, it's then plus 30% capture rate and skill EXP. So basically, it's super good. Highly recommend you guys do this. But if you don't want to spend 100 mil on one of these coupons, I get it. Don't do it. But now that's out of the way. So what you would do when your horse reaches level 15, you'll bring it back to your stable, and you'll buy a new horse from the central market to replace it, and you're going to imperial trade this horse. Okay, so click on your horse, check it in. I can't check it. Well, what I could do is remote collect to get past that scenario, but check in your horse, and then if it's level 15, you have an extra option over here that will be sell to Imperial Trader. Okay, you would sell it to your Imperial Trader, and what we'll do, it'll give you half the silver that you would do for selling on the central market. So let's say the horse is worth, I don't know, 10 mil on the central market at the time. You will get 5 million silver with no tax into your inventory. Pretty cool. So you get some silver gains. But what would happen is you'll get some of these. You would get some of these Imperial training seals. And as you can see, you can trade in for a bunch of different stuff. If you really want high-end horse armor, which is about 50 mil a pop on the central market, you can trade it in for that. or you could trade it in for the Black Magic Viper crystals. It depends what you want to do. For just pure silver gains, the Viper crystals are more lucrative, but for personal gains for your horse, if you got a Pegasus, maybe you want to put some nice gear on it, maybe it would be worth trading the extra seals in for one of those if you can't snipe one off the central market for 50 mil. So that's that out of the way. So let me give you guys an example. Well, before I give you guys an example, the way these seals work is if you're trading a tier 3 horse level 15 or higher, you get 3 seals. If you're trading a tier 5 horse that's level 15 or higher, you're getting 5 seals. A tier 4 horse that's 15 or higher, you're getting 4 seals. So the seals you get is equal to the tier of the horse, right? So, T1 horses, if you want to make a bit more money, you can make the argument that you kind of want to get T3 or T4 or T5 horses, and T1, T2s maybe you want to steer away from. But remember, the T1, T2 horses will level you up faster. The T3, T4, and T5 horses will give you more seals, which will give you more money. So it's up to you how you want to balance money to time spent. That's up to you, okay? So let me show you guys what you would do with your seals. So if you're just interested in making money, click A on the seals and it will show you the nearest place that you can trade your seals in. So for me, it's the Imperial Horse Ranch. There's also a place in Calpheon as well. The Stable Keeper in Calpheon is another place that you can trade in your seals. So I'm going to go there and I'll see you guys there in a second. Okay, so we've made it here to the Stable Keeper in Calpheon. Definitely come to Calpheon, by the way. I did forget that Imperial Horse Ranch doesn't have as many trading options for your seals, whereas Calpheon has all of them. So don't go there, come to Calpheon. Come to exchange, you need 12 of them, you exchange 12 for one of these, and then you need a Black Magic Viper Crystal, so buy one from the central market. I think I've got some. Yep, I've got 26 of them. So you'd buy one of these off the central market for a couple 100k. You come to processing, you do heating, and then you'd heat these two together. Right, and then when you heat these two together, it will give you the Black Magic version of the Viper Crystal, which you can then sell for like 30 odd mil. But there is another option you can take. You can gamble a little bit to see if you can get some crazy money. But we'll go through the gambling in a second after this actually succeeds and melts into a, into a BMC. There we go. So Black Magic Viper Crystals, if you come on the central market, type in Viper, you can see there's actually none of the, what's the pre-orders on this? 3. If you put a few pre-orders down, it's probably not too hard to grab. It's not crazy pre-ordered, so put your pre-orders up, you'll get them eventually. So you can see you can sell a Black Magic Viper one for 33 mil. Easy money right there. There's 161 pre-orders for it. So that's how you can make a little bit of silver, right? But you can make a lot more silver by gambling. But at the same time, this might also lose you silver. Because you could try and get a Jin. If you get a Jin, you're making 300 plus million silver, which is pretty dope. It's pretty dope. But if you don't get a Jin, if you get bad RNG, you're going to be stuck. And it's going to be hard to sell because there's a lot of people trying to sell bonds and ones. And those are people that fail to get their Jins. So how do you do this? This is going to require you to do some silver sync. So what you would need to do is buy somewhere between 5 and 10 Black Magic Crystals. So come here, type in Black M. You get a list of the BMCs. You want BMCs that are around 2 mil at the cheapest BMCs you can find. So if you look at here, these are around 2.1 mil. I'm just going to buy 5 of these. So that cost me about 10 mil to buy 5. Then type in black. How should I put Black Magic? Scroll down. Type Black M so you don't have to scroll down so much. And I'm going to buy 3 of these for now. So I've got 8 total BMCs that I've just bought. You pull them out from the central market. And what you're going to do is melt these down. On top of these, you want to buy 1 Forest Fury. I think I've got some. Let me pull out the BMCs first. I think I've got a bunch of Forest Furies, maybe. I'm not sure. My central market is super messy as well. I didn't see a Forest Fury. I thought I had some. But if you don't have a Forest Fury, it's fine. Just buy one. So type in Forest Fury, buy one of these, and then you got to pull it out. I had 17 of them. Okay, whatever. Mispurchased by me. I got a bunch of these. But yeah, so you need a Forest Fury as well. So you can see now we got the Forest Fury, we got these we got these Black Magic Crystals, and we got the Viper. So before we can attempt to make a Djinn Viper, we got to melt down these Black Magic Crystals. So every time you melt one of these melt one of these BMCs down, it can proc either 1 or 2 of these magical shards. So I think that time we just got 1. Yeah, we only got 1 there. So if it procs 2 every single time, obviously you're only going to need 5 BMCs. If it procs 1 every single time, you're going to need 10 BMCs. So I've bought 8 because I'm hoping that 2 of them will get a 2 proc for me. Oh, that one had a 2 proc, so we got 1 extra BMC. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to come to processing. We're going to come to simple alchemy. It doesn't matter what order you pick them in. Just pick your magical shards, your Forest Fury, and your Black Magic Viper Crystal into your simple alchemy through processing. Click Y, which is triangle on PlayStation, and then clench and pray. So we lost money, basically. We got a 1 Viper Crystal here. So we can sell this for like, what, 39 mil? Let's put this on the CM. So if we put this on the central market, we can sell it for around 40 mil by the looks of it, right? So you're selling it for 40 mil, but you spent 20 mil for the BMCs, and you spent like 3 mil for your Forest Fury. So you spent like 23 mil to get 40 mil back. So you're only getting, what, 17 mil, then you got to do the tax as well. So you're getting like 12 mil profit from this. Whereas if you just sold the straight BMC, you would have made 33 mil profit, right? Because the BMC was selling for 33 mil and it didn't require any extra steps. So safe money is that, but you can risk it, because if it does go Djinn, if it goes Djinn, then the money you're making is insanity. It's 300 million. You can probably sell it for 325, 24, 25 million. So that's like 300 mil-ish after tax. So it's whether or not you want to take that risk. I probably would, to be honest, because even if it fails, personally, the way I look at it, if I don't get the Djinn, I'm still making some money. Not as making as much as I could, but I'm still making some money. If I get Djinn, I'm making a lot of money. At the end of the day, I'm not actually losing money. I'm just losing potential money if I don't get a Djinn. Okay? So that's how that goes. And like I said, another choice that you have. So you got a bunch of stuff that you can exchange these for. If you can't get these horse armors from the CM because they're pre-ordered and people aren't selling them. So, how do you spell it? 1 second. Grand Veer. Okay, Grand Veer. So if you just type in Grand V, it should come up. So if you look at these are around 40 to 45 million. Only 12 have been sold, and there's 4 pre-orders. This has been out for a while now. So yeah, it's gonna be hard, okay? It's gonna be hard to buy these from the CM. So you can trade it in for that and upgrade it for yourself, for your Pegasus. It's only really worth doing if you've got a Pegasus, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, so those are the Viper Crystals, and that's what you do with the Viper Crystals. I'm gonna go back to Velia now. I've gone through the easy way, right? That you can make a little bit of money and you can level up some horses and you can get to your training Artisan 1 to unlock this function. Now let's go through a different couple of methods that you can use. But to do that, I'm going to get to Velia first. So I'll see you guys when we get to Velia.